When I talk to patients here in the office that are getting photobiomodulation treatment, one of the first things that just about everyone tells me that they notice is that they're sleeping better. It's not a big surprise. There are tons of studies that support the connection between red light therapy or photobiomodulation and better sleep, but it's always great to see that in real life. This has always really made me happy. This is a really big deal. And I wanted to just explain some of the technical things in a simple way so that you understand why this is so amazing that there is a drug-free, easy treatment that increases sleep. Because the short-term implications are inconvenient, to say the least, but the long-term problems related to sleep are a big deal. And if we can help people sleep better, we can really literally change their life. So check this out. In the short term, it's just attention spans are lower, thinking and recall is slower, motor functions, problem solving, flexible thinking, emotional regulation, they're diminished. And we all know what that's like when you don't get a good night's sleep, not at your best the next day. But when this becomes a trend, when you're not sleeping longer, and as people get older, that tends to be a more chronic condition, there is an actual increased risk for developing conditions like cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, obesity, psychiatric illness like depression, and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. People that sleep good have less diseases as they get older and they live longer. No surprise. Because when we sleep, the brain is busy detoxing. There are toxins that our brain accumulate throughout the day. Even just cellular function itself creates toxins. And at night, when we sleep, that's when the brain is cleaning house. Here's where photobiomodulation can come in. We know that photobiomodulation decreases the viscosity of cerebral spinal fluid, making it easier to flow through the brain and to help the detoxification of the brain. The other thing that photobiomodulation does is it activates global large-scale networks. These networks generate high-order cognitive functions like perception, attention, memory, and emotions. So what happens with the brain is it gets stuck in one network. It doesn't shift into other networks. And so there's a network called the default network that when we're just kind of daydreaming and not thinking about anything, well, that can become a chronic condition that the brain has a hard time breaking out of. That's connected to diseases like Alzheimer's. But the reverse can also be true. When you need to go to sleep and you can't turn your brain off, you can't shift that gear into that active thinking where a different global network is in charge. Photobiomodulation activates these networks and it helps with the turning on and turning off. We don't understand it all, but it's amazing. And if you've had photobiomodulation and you're sleeping better, you know what I'm talking about, because it's just easier to go to sleep. You don't wake up as frequently, and it makes a big difference, and that's one of the reasons why. Another thing that we know is that photobiomodulation flat out reduces brain inflammation, which is a big deal. And lastly, the research shows us that red light therapy increases melatonin production in the brain. Conversely, blue light, which is what we get on our TVs, our phones, inhibits the secretion of melatonin, which is why it can be harder to sleep. That's why we have those blue blocker glasses. You've seen those, and they do help. So I hope you understand why the connection between photobiomodulation and sleep is such a big deal, and it's so exciting, and it can really be a life-changing help if you've struggled with sleep. Thanks for listening.